Welcome to FBB Forum. My name is David, and this podcast is dedicated to amazing muscle ladies all around the world. I'm very pleased to welcome the stunning NPC women's physique competitor, Kim Watson, to the podcast. Kim has been competing in bodybuilding since 1992, so she has a lot of experience in the sport. She also has a full-time career as a registered nurse and is starting up a wellness business, which we'll talk about a little bit later. Stay tuned to hear more from this amazing woman. Welcome to FBB Forum, Kim. Thank you for being here.
Well, thank you for having me. It's my pleasure.
Thank you. Now, my first few questions are about how you got started in bodybuilding, and I was wondering if you had an athletic or sports background before you started.
In high school, not a whole lot of athletics. Well, I was on the swim team, basketball, cheerleading, baton twirling. So I guess that's athletics.
Yeah.
I was always involved in something.
Very cool. How did you get started in bodybuilding?
And then let's see, I've always worked out, and I took a travel nurse assignment actually to Georgia. Okay. And was looking for a gym. And back then Gold's gyms were, the thing.
Yeah.
And started training at a gym and met a few people, and they're like, asked me, "You must compete." I had no idea what that meant. I said, I compete in what? I tell the story all the time. I really did not know anything about bodybuilding.
Yeah.
Bodybuilding, you have the shape, you have the figure, you do well. And I thought, oh, I'm always up for, something new and exciting. And I was new in the town, so I didn't really know a lot of people. I heard it would be something to, keep me busy until I met people. And then that was it. I did my first show. After that, I met with that person. And it was, I think, 6 months later, I did my first show. It was the Gold's Gym Classic, and I won the overall, and that was it. It was, the bug was placed.
Oh, very cool. You got hooked, huh?
I got hooked. And then my fiance at the time, who I met at the gym, became my coach. So I had like a bodybuilding relationship. So that helped. So we both competed, and it just became a lifestyle.
That's very cool. And this was, we talked about it, 1992 was when you started competing. So you've been
yeah. And I remember I seen Corey Everson, and I was like, she's beautiful.
Yeah.
I want to look like her. I just thought, this is fantastic. Like, I didn't know this existed. And she was just someone who I saw as beautiful and muscular. And I was, I was like, I know I can do this. So
I remember seeing her on NBC Sports World on this Olympia, contest. And yeah, I was impressed too. I was like, wow.
And back then, it was on TV. So, before I started, I made sure I used to watch all the shows. And then the more I watched, I was like, it just, either you like it or you don't. It's not one of those sports where, yeah, well, I'll kind of like it. It's really, people either love it or they just don't like it.
Yeah. I used to comb through the TV guide listings to see when it was coming
up. The TV guide.
And ESPN,
I remember those days. Yes.
ESPN used to cover it too, and they did a good job of covering it. Yeah.
That's a shame they don't do that anymore. I really wish they would do that.
I know there's so many like garbage sports that they cover, like knife throwing and like hot dog eating and stuff like that.
I know, or beanbag throwing, just silly stuff. Yeah, there's some crazy sports out there now.
I know. I would much rather see bodybuilding on TV again. And yeah, there's plenty of channels out there too. So yeah, I would like to see it back. Now, did you have like a bodybuilding or fitness role model? Besides Corey or Corey obviously was.
Yeah, I think she was it. Linda Murray back then. She was another one who I thought was just amazing.
Yeah. I liked her a lot too. I remember there was like a live Ms. Olympia broadcast on ESPN back in like 1991, I think. And it was so cool to see it live on TV. It's like, wow.
I think that was before I got into it, probably, because I started in 92. But yeah, I would go to New York and go to the Olympias up in New York when they had them. So
that's so cool. Now, when you first started competing, did you get nervous on stage? And do you get nervous these days? Because I think it would be kind of nerve-wracking to get up there on stage in a bikini like that?
I was more nervous last year than when I was younger. When I was younger, I wish I could have been like that last year. When I was younger, I was not nervous at all. Like I just loved it. I just got up there. There was no nerves. I had a great time. I loved the posing routine. It was just like fun for me, super fun. It was not nerve-wracking at all. I did get nervous when I got up to the junior national level.
Okay.
Then the nerves, because I was looking around like, okay, this is serious. There's some big people here. It's a whole nother level when you go from there to when you start competing at those shows. So
Yeah,
that's when the nerves started.
And did you end up getting TV coverage? I was curious from.
So I've Googled my name to see if I could find myself somewhere. I wish I would have saved the magazines. I had stacks and stacks. And I'm like, I know I'm probably here somewhere. But I wasn't that up in the ranks,
Sure.
Because after the junior nationals, when I saw that was at the same time I'd decide either I was going to take it to another level, or is it time, I want to start a family. So
sure.
I went with the family, because when you get to that level, you've got to take it to another level. So
yeah, I understand. I know, and you can't really do both. You have to choose.
No. So all my friends were having babies, and I'm like, I want a baby. So we went with the baby.
Oh yeah, babies are cool though. I like babies.
Yeah, so it was great. It was a good decision.
That's very cool. That's awesome. Now, you mentioned your first competition, and we before the call we talked a little bit about taking a break between your 1990s competing period and competing now, and could you talk a little bit about, besides having family and stuff, other reasons for taking the break?
Sure, yeah. Even when I was pregnant and starting my family, I would had the kids in the little car seat, bringing them to the gym. And back in the day, they didn't have like the daycare, so I had a smaller gym where I could just bring him with me in the little seat, put him down. I could train. So my kids were in the gym when they were in a car seat. So
oh, that's great.
And then after that, I got cancer. That's when I took my longest break without training or any type of physical activity at all. Sure. So that was a good 2003. It was about 5 or 6 years.
Really?
I thought I actually let my nursing license go. I never thought I'd work again. I pretty much, not that I gave up, but I was so sick. I thought, I'm not going to come back from this. And if I do, be like normal. And I did. So
that's great. Yeah, it's good you're still with us. Definitely.
Yep. So
in terms of the when did you start competing again? Which year? In terms of the recent period.
And then after the cancer, since I let my nursing license go, I had to get all that back. I could have kicked myself for letting it go, but I was really that sick. I thought I'm never going to work again.
Yeah.
So I started getting things back in order. I had to get my nursing license back. I had to travel back to Georgia. They make you do like clinical hours. Went past the gym, and then started like, I got to get back to the gym. So once I got my license, started working again, I was right back to the gym.
Very good. What year was that?
That was 2014.
Oh, 2014. Great.
Then I just trained. I did like beach body coaching. I got back into coaching, did some of that. And it was 2018. I'd started working. I decided I'm going to go back to ICU to get, that experience again. And there was a nurse that works in the hospital that's a bodybuilder. And they would ask me, are you the bodybuilder? They would confuse us. Are you the bodybuilding nurse? I said, well, I was, but I'm not now. And actually, it's a nurse that's on Instagram, Cindy, Swole Queen. You probably know her.
Oh, yeah, Cindy Reyes.
It's her.
Oh, yeah, she's great. Yeah.
And so I met her, and I'm like, oh, cool, another bodybuilder, because you don't run into bodybuilders. So I started kind of following her, and then getting back, following stuff on Instagram. And there we have it again, the bug.
Oh, great.
I thought for a minute, God, I'm older now. Can I do this? And I'm going to do this. Let's just give it a try. And I just woke up one day. I said, I'm going to get a coach, and we're just going to start. I was about this big around, might I say. So I had I'd lost all that size when I was sick with cancer.
Yeah,
So I knew I had a lot of work ahead of me, but my kids are older, and I said, yeah, I'm going to do this again.
that's great. Yeah. Now, what do you hope to compete again soon?
So I did the first show. Um, and then after, I saw the pictures, because you always have a vision in your mind, I think, what you want to look like.
Yeah.
And I thought I should not be so critical. We all are. For my first time back on stage, I think I did pretty well, but it's
Yeah.
not the vision I want to see. So
Sure.
then I
Yeah.
figured I already qualified. I did nationals, but I still knew I didn't look like I wanted to look, but that was an experience to get up. Most people wouldn't have tried, probably even attempted
Mm-hmm.
um, to do nationals. So I did that. And then I decided after that, I talked to my coach. I'm like, no, we're not. I haven't had like a good solid, like I decided to get back into bodybuilding quick. I'm like, let's get ready and do a show. I
Okay.
never took time to build where I want to be. So I never had
Yeah.
like a solid off season.
Okay.
So this year has been what I would call a solid, put on some weight, off season. So I'm thinking next year I
Oh,
should be good to go. We'll see how, I do, but so far I think I'm progressing well. Where next year,
that's
definitely
great.
not this year. Because every time you stop, to do a show, you're stopping your muscle growth. You're stopping your gains because you have to
Yeah.
cut.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, not that I could have decided to compete because I think I look, good enough to compete once I cut down, but I'm not. I know underneath all this is not where I want to be.
Sure. I understand.
Underneath all the fluff, I should
Yeah.
say.
I
I'm not
understand.
quite where I need to be. And I've got to bring my back side up. It's my weakness. So
Yeah, sure. No, I seen the pictures of you from last year, and you did look really
mhm.
great. And but I do think that taking a year off, I've seen so many women that really helps them so much. And
Yeah, a lot of people just love competing so much that they don't take that time. They'll do like, oh, I'm gonna do a 5 month off season or a few months. In
mhm.
my opinion, I think you need like a good year. That's
Yeah,
my personal opinion.
I've heard that from many women actually. I think that the year off really is very
Have
helpful.
you? Hmm.
Yeah, no, I think it makes sense to, for your body to kind of recover too
Exactly. Get
really
healthy, regroup from your shows. Yeah.
and put on size too, I think that helps too. So um I was you mentioned your back, but in terms of other feedback from judges in terms of where to improve your physique, have you heard from other judges about that feedback?
It's the same thing. It's the same thing as when I was younger. I had got the same feedback. It's funny. It's just carried on. My
Yeah.
back size, my lats,
Hmm.
um, my legs were good from the waist down, except the back, the hamstrings, my glutes. So
Yeah.
I'm working. I've seen major improvement in my glutes. I mean, someone might look and be like, "You still need work," but if you compare where I was from last year till now, I've definitely improved. I'm struggling with my back. It's
Okay.
it's a struggle. It's a struggle. It's that body part that's just like
Yeah.
giving me the middle finger type of thing. Like
Oh
we're
no.
gonna make this difficult. But
Oh no.
I am determined. I actually got someone here because my coach is in Texas. So there's a pro that works at my gym that said he would work with me, and he's for sure convinced he could help me with my back.
That's terrific. That's great.
So
Yeah.
I said, okay, let's. I'm up for anything. Let's give it a try. So I'm going to start with him next week.
Okay. That's great. Yeah. I saw info on your coach. Lightfoot was the last name, I think.
Scott, yes.
Scott Lightfoot. Yeah.
Hmm.
And then he competed in Orlando recently.
Yeah, I actually got to meet him in person at the show. So
Yeah, I like that. I saw that on Instagram, and
mhm.
that guy is big. He's a huge guy.
Yeah, he's a big guy, tall. Because I'm tall, so if you see the pictures, he towers above me. But he looked great, and I like him
Yeah,
because he's like my age, so he can relate to the struggles of being older and competing.
sure. Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, that is good to have that. And
Mhm.
he talked about needing not being able to grow his legs enough to
Yeah.
compete with these younger guys. And I'm
I thought he looked great. I thought his legs looked great. And then you got to remember, like my show when I did nationals, I was standing next to people that were like 20, 30 years younger than me.
yeah, yeah,
It's tough when you're all, it really is tough when you do an open class. You don't know who you're going to stand next to.
yeah, that's true. Are you going to stick, do you think, with masters or open or
I probably won't do an open anytime soon. And I
yeah,
say that again, I'll stick to, where they have the age categories. No.
sure. Yeah, I understand that. Um, Now I was curious in terms of prep, like what would you say is the toughest aspect of competition prep for you?
Um, I do bet I struggle more now with the off season. I think that's probably why I competed again because I like prep because I don't like to eat.
Oh,
So for
yeah.
me, it's just perfect. I mean, I got a little before my first show, it's just doing another prep. I forgot what it entailed. So I
Mhm.
never was really hungry. It was more so the cardio and trying to fit in work. And you can't skip, you can't miss card. There's no off season. It's like, oh, okay, so I'm going to miss maybe a training. It's not going to be detrimental to anything, but there's no missing, no skipping, and you're exhausted.
Mhm.
And you just got to push through. But as far as the eating, I have no issues with not eating, not eating.
Really? That's tough though.
I am struggling. I struggle every day with this off season. And my coach just told me we got to increase the food.
Uh-huh.
And I thought, oh my God, because it takes me I'm a slow eater, first of all. So I have to put the food down and it's so much. It takes me a good 45 minutes to eat one meal. And then before you
Oh,
know it, we're eating again. So
yeah. Oh, no. Oh, man. That I have
most
heard
people
that.
would be like, I love to eat, and I have a variety. He makes sure, it's not boring to keep, when you eat the same thing every day, that's when you get really like, I don't want to do this. So he keeps my diet, changes it up. So, I don't get sick of the same foods, but it's not like you're sitting down eating potato chips and ice cream. It's still like cream of rice, oatmeal,
Sure. Yeah.
beans,
Bodybuilding diet. Yeah.
bodybuilding diet. So I try and spruce things up, to make it taste a little better.
Sure, I understand. You're the first person I think on this podcast who's mentioned that that doesn't like to eat. So
And there's a lot of women. I know I have a few friends too that struggle, with the off season.
yeah,
But
huh?
I guess most people do like to eat more. But no, definitely struggling right now. Like today, I hope
Yeah.
if my coach is watching this, I'm sorry I didn't get my food in today. I didn't do it, and it's I have to get better. I have to work on this. Yes.
I understand. Yeah. So this is going to be interesting to ask you this next question. Do you kind of have a hard time dealing with that transition between competition shape and off-season shape? Because I think, a lot of ladies go through kind of a body dysmorphia.
Yes. Right now, I feel like I was just like before I was getting dressed to come on here, like my gut is just, I've stayed so lean since I got
Mm,
back into bodybuilding. Like I said, I never really had this type of off season.
mhm,
So like, it's uncomfortable. It really is. I don't know how else to put it.
mm.
It's a whole, now that my legs have grown, my legs have never been this big, and I've never had this much junk in the trunk, so to say. So it's it's a whole new experience. Yeah, it's not.
Hmm.
I'm trying to embrace it, and I say this is what you have to do. So,
Yeah, I
but
understand.
I think I'm uncomfortable because I'm just not used to this weight. I was going from being so lean, and I
Yeah.
put on a lot of weight in the past 2 months fairly quickly.
Okay. Yeah.
My body just is responding well. And I went and had my fat tested, the DEXA scan, and I'm putting on muscle. So we're on
Good.
track.
Okay.
When I look, I'm like, I'm just getting fat. That's
Yeah, I
when you
understand.
look at yourself, you're like, you're just blowing up. So
Yeah, I think that body dysmorphia is so common amongst bodybuilders, and um, yeah, and I think as long as it doesn't put you in a funk, and just keep on, pursuing your goals and stuff, you're probably good.
yeah, so we'll see. Yeah, you never see when you look in the mirror what everybody else sees. I
That's
see
true.
this, it's just a theme amongst, I think, a lot of bodybuilders.
I think that's very true. Yeah. Um, I was curious if you could give any advice to competitors that are struggling with competition prep. I mean, especially since you have so much experience in bodybuilding.
What I would say, if you're getting ready for a show, there's certain things you're just going to have to, I would say, have in place. Know that you have the time. You're not going to have a lot of time for anything. You really will not. It's like I mean, it is all year round, but more so during prep. Like, make sure at home, like, everything's chill. You're not in the midst of like some home issues. Make sure relationships are in check.
Mhm.
Finances. You have the finances. Don't be like halfway through prep and then you're like, oh my God, I can't afford the tanning, the makeup. Make
Mhm.
sure you realize you're going to have all these costs that come with it. If you travel, you're going to have a hotel. When I use a chiropractor now, but closer to a show, I do more like body work. I mean,
Mhm.
you should do it all year long. I don't do it as intense.
Okay.
Um, so that's some big things is the
That's a good
time.
point.
So if you have time, you're thinking you're going to be going on vacation or hanging out, it's not going to happen. No.
Yeah, I understand. I think that's a good point about time and also about the finance, because it is expensive to compete for sure. And there's not much money coming in, even
No, there's no
money.
money. Yeah, it's all going out. That's
Yeah,
why you really have to love it because you're going to spend some money. So
yeah, that's true. Yeah, I know that's tough to do. No, thank you for that advice though. Now I know you talked about having kind of a challenging nursing job and you have to work night shifts currently. So could you tell me a little bit more about this? And do you find it hard to juggle your home and work life with your bodybuilding career?
definitely 100%.
Mhm.
When I worked day shift, when I was getting ready for my show, I was still in the ICU, and that wasn't so bad. I was doing 12 hours, but even then, I did I cut back my hours
Mhm.
because 12 hours in the ICU, was enough to wipe you out. But I would go to the gym after, had enough energy. Night shift, you work the 12 hours, but I can't train after a night shift. I can barely function.
Mhm. Yeah.
I have to come home and go straight to bed. Um, and then I have a hard time getting up. Some people can say they can wake up at noon. I can't. I need like 10 hours sleep when I work
Yeah,
nights. I need way more sleep than if I were to work day shift.
sure.
So it's definitely, I love my job, but, and, I've talked to them about it. They just don't, in corrections, it's different than like the hospital where I can just go and say, I'm going to switch to day shift. There's like, I'm the supervisor, so I would have to come into a day shift spot and there is no openings.
Yeah, sure.
Um, so I did cut back my hours a little bit and I'm looking into maybe, I hate to leave because I love my job. I love the people I work with. I
Mhm.
just don't like, it's just not working. I'm not feeling good. My doctor,
Mhm.
it's just not, it's doing some things to my health.
Mhm.
I just have been tired all the time. And, I had blood work and some testing and she said it's the night shift. So my
Yeah,
body's just not liking the night shift.
night shifts are really tough. And has it, in terms of working in corrections, has it been okay safety wise too, or do you have
Oh,
any?
everyone always asks about safety. It's one of the safest places. You don't go anywhere without an officer. Actually, the inmates, or we have to call them patients,
Uh-huh.
they're for the most part, they're all really polite.
Okay.
For the most part, you get your special ones, but
Yeah.
yeah, they're no issues. It's just like if you were to work in a hospital,
Okay. Yeah.
except you have an officer by your side anytime you are with a patient or inmate.
How, in terms of any crazy stories that you could share? I don't know if you
Oh my
could.
gosh. Well, a lot of in the corrections now, and they should have facilities for this, is mental health. Mental
Yeah.
health, and I'm a big mental health advocate. I don't know if you've
Yeah.
seen my posts.
Hmm.
It's a big thing, and a lot of it, they should have special facilities where it's just, for mental health. So
Hmm.
yeah, they're crazy. I mean, and it makes me sad in a way sometimes because it's just me as a nurse. I don't see it as, oh, you're a crazy person. I see it
Yeah.
as a person that it's like, that's sad. They're like that. Like what happened in their life? Why
Mhm.
are you smearing shit on the cell door? Why
Mm.
do you do,
That's
because
not good.
they do some crazy things.
Yeah.
Um, and then you get the ones in there that we always get seizures and chest pain. It's like an ER, but they're
Hmm.
70% of the time it's fake. So you have to get good, and
Oh,
it's, yeah,
really?
they
Oh,
just
geez.
they want to go for a ride to the hospital. They want to go for a snack, at the hospital. We've
Oh,
been getting a
geez.
lot of pregnant women
Huh.
lately. That's been a lot lately. Actually, I had one lady, I worked in labor and delivery for a short time, and she said, I think I'm having contractions. I thought, we are not delivering a baby here at the jail. So
Yeah.
I have labor and delivery experience. So I thought, well, let me check her and, see where she's at. And I thought, oh my God, she's like 4 or 5 centimeters dilated. I'm going to have to deliver a baby. I
Wow.
can't. So it's really, it's kind of a fun job. And then you
Yeah.
get the inmates that are just like total a-hole,
Yeah. Yeah.
not nice, not
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. Yeah. I know it. I know it can be kind of challenging, but I bet it's never boring, at least. It'd be kind of interesting.
No, I never know what's going to happen at work. Is it going to be a quiet night, or because we have codes just like you would in a hospital?
Hmm.
Is it going to be a night where everybody's going to act foolish and, there's inmates fighting? They never fight though. They fell off the table or they fell off the bunk bed. They think you don't know the story after you've done it 7 years. It's like you got punched in the face. You did
Uh-huh.
not fall off the bunk and split your head open.
A
Um,
lot of
so
clumsiness.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's a fun job. I just
Yeah.
wish I didn't have to do it at night. But
Yeah. I understand. Yeah. Oh, yeah. 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 I hope you do get a day shift. That would be nice.
so
Yeah.
I'm working on it. Yes, working on some things.
Very cool. Um, Now we talked, my next few questions about coaching, and you talked about your prep coach, Scott Lightfoot.
Mhm.
Do you have a posing coach too?
I use a Sheronica Henton.
Oh
I don't know if
yeah,
you heard the profit posing. She is
she's amazing.
amazing.
Yeah.
When I started with her, it's like a workout.
Hmm.
Literally. Actually, I just got with her because my coach was like, you need to send me some videos posing. I can't tell you how hard, and I'm older, I've got 7 herniated discs.
Mm.
I do have a plate in my neck, so that moving to pose,
Hmm.
thought I've got to start now. I know I might not compete until next year, but
Mm.
we've got to start back now. But she is amazing
She
with
is.
her pose.
Yeah.
It's just like a gift. She has such patience, and it's a whole hour session, and it's just like training. It's just like a workout.
You probably get to see her in person, don't you? Because she's relatively close.
Yeah, she's close. Actually, I just called her last week. I said we need to get together. She's like, "Yes, we do." So let's get back on it.
I remember
It's
when she,
amazing how stiff you get when you don't pose. Really.
oh yeah, no, I think the posing practice is really important.
Yes.
And I remember when she competed, and I feel like she probably could just like step on stage now. I mean, she
Right.
looks
I
so
know. I
good.
look at her and I'm like, how do you maintain that? Like you could do a show in 2 weeks, you can drop because she stays fairly lean
Yeah.
all year round. And I just like look at her abs. I'm like, that's disgusting. She just stays so lean. But yeah, she still looks great.
Yeah,
But
that's
she's really
true.
focused. She's focused on her business right now, I think. And I think it's doing really well.
I think so too. Yeah, it seems like she's
Hmm.
getting more and more clients. She's getting more following. Yeah, no,
Yes.
yeah, I had interviewed her a while back for the
Oh, did
podcast,
you?
and
Yeah,
yeah,
she's so sweet. She's a great person.
yeah, she is. She's terrific. Yeah, but I should mention Cindy Reyes, who we talked about too. I interviewed her recently too, and she's really terrific too.
Yeah,
Um,
she's actually had David for a while as a coach.
oh yeah.
Um,
Oh,
and
cool.
that's nothing, when we talk about like coach and picking a coach or like leaving a coach, I've loved all my coaches I have. I just think that's another thing, competing. You just got to find someone who you like. It's like dating. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You might be a
Hmm.
good person, but maybe we just don't see eye to eye on things. But they are great. They're both great people.
Yeah. Oh,
I'll
I
probably
know.
see her this. I haven't been in touch with her. I don't know. Something happened to my Instagram, and I know I'm friends with like Strength Addicts Christian, and my Instagram was hacked, and I got back on. All of a sudden, like I'm unfollow people. Just I didn't unfollow them. Like they
Uh-huh.
disappeared.
Oh,
So I have to get back and try and find her and see because I haven't seen her show up on my feed, and I
oh
know I
yeah.
was friends with her.
Yeah. No, yeah, definitely reach out to her. Yeah, she's really
So
awesome. I
I
wonder if
think
you
I
could.
know I'm going to the Thai Pope this Saturday, and I see, and I don't see a whole lot of David stuff either, and some other friends. So it was weird when my account got hacked, like people disappeared. It was a
Yeah.
strange thing, but I
Oh,
know they'll be there Saturday.
yeah, I think David's competing.
Yeah, at the Thai Pope. So
Yeah.
that's my special favorite show.
Oh yeah, that's a good show. Yeah.
Because it was my first one, back after 20 years.
Oh, really? Oh, that's so cool.
So
Yeah, very
it'll
cool.
always be special.
Yeah, I understand. It is. That's a
But
good
yeah,
show
as far
too.
as I was talking about coaches, you asked me about Scott. I don't know how I got over to that subject.
Oh, we were talking about posing coaches.
Posing coaches. Yeah, when I was with David, Cindy does posing too.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
she does. Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, they're a great couple, and I
Mm-hmm.
like following them on Instagram and stuff too. So the now I was curious in terms of you talked about you live in Central Florida. Do you mind mentioning the city?
Oh no, Claremont. So I'm right in the middle of the state.
And do you find yes, and you're near Orlando, I know. Do you find that you have a supportive bodybuilding community there?
Florida is a big bodybuilding community. I think there's like Florida's fairly big. Texas is another big. I've got some friends in Texas. Well, my coach is in Texas,
Hmm.
but yeah, I've met a lot of bodybuilders. I know some like in Georgia when I was there, that's not so much. There's a few shows, a few bodybuilders, but here in Florida, it's like bodybuilding
I,
haven. Yeah.
I know it really is. We have so many good shows here too,
And
and
there you can go to a show every weekend if you like.
that's
um,
true. There is, and having I mean, the Olympia here is just
oh,
so
I know, and they're
incredible.
coming.
I'm a
I
little
went
worried.
last year to Las Vegas, and when I was there, I was like, oh, I hope they bring it to Florida, and then yeah, it's going to be here right around the corner. So
I wonder if they're going to keep that alternation between Las Vegas and Orlando every year, because I that wouldn't be so bad to have it here every year, or every other year.
I think that would be good. Change it up every year.
I think so too. Yeah. Um, let's see. We're running a little low on time, about 7 minutes. You told me you tried out for American Gladiators, and
Oh yeah, I had tried to find that picture.
yeah,
I had a picture. It was like in the Savannah News um, when I had tried out, and they wrote this big article. Kim. Well, I was Kim Smurga at the time. Critical care nurse trying out for American Gladiator.
uh-huh.
And I wish I could find it because I just looked like a little baby bodybuilder. I was so cute. I was like, when I put it away somewhere, I got it out a few months ago, and I thought, um, then it really hits like how long I've been doing this when I see that picture.
Yeah,
So yeah, some friends from the gym were like, let's go try out for American Gladiators. I was like,
uh-huh.
let's go. So we got in the car and off we went to Atlanta. I got to meet, I think it's Ice.
Hmm.
I can't remember her name. I just started following her on
Oh, that's
TikTok.
Lori Fetrick.
Um, I think is that her name?
Yeah,
I'm
Lori.
not good with all the names. I met all of them. So that was interesting. There were so many people there. But the one thing I could not do, but the guy kind of liked me, so he just like scooted me through, was climb the rope. You've got to climb a rope.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that did not go well. No,
Really? Oh no.
that did not go well. Plus, I practiced before, like some of the sprinting and some things I knew they were going to do, but I didn't have a rope to climb to
Yeah. Oh,
practice.
I see. Yeah.
So when I got there, I thought, oh, okay, let's do this. And you had to pass each station to go on to the next. So the
Yeah.
guy looked at me. He's like, just go to the next station.
Oh, wow. That's cool. Did
So yeah, I didn't make the cut, but it was an experience. It was fun.
did you get a chance to see the Netflix docuseries? Because it was actually quite good.
No, I haven't seen it.
It was one thing it reminded me of was that it was probably the most popular and most coverage that I've ever seen in women's bodybuilding because of the,
Of
Ice,
the,
Siren and Gold and those ladies.
mhm.
And some of those ladies were, like Shelley Beatty were well known in the bodybuilding world,
Yeah.
but they got famous, way beyond that with that show. So I
Mhm.
was like the fact that they covered bodybuilding that way.
No, I have not seen. I'll have to see. I don't watch a lot of TV. Not. Yeah, I'll have to check it out one of my TV nights.
It's worth watching. I think you'd enjoy it, especially since you tried out. They have a
Yeah,
whole section about the contenders and the tryouts and everything, and it's really interesting.
yeah. There was so many people. Oh God, I remember that. It was. I can't even tell you. It was just bukus of people trying out. It was a lot.
I bet. Yeah, it was really a popular show. Yeah.
Yeah, that's when it was super popular, and I just thought we just went up to just have fun and just experience it and see some of the gladiators. So
Oh yeah. I bet that was cool to see him.
it was, yeah. And I was really into bodybuilding. I was looking at these women. I was like, oh my God, they look so awesome.
Yeah.
That's gonna be me one day.
Uh-huh. That would have been cool if you'd been a regular on the show, but then
Oh, I know.
you'd
My
have to
life
give up
would be
nursing.
different. My
Yeah.
whole life would be different right now. So
Yeah. Now, I was curious, do you keep in touch with any of the old school female bodybuilders that you knew in the 1990s?
no, I've tried to find some of them. One, her name is, I'll never forget her name because she was the first one that helped me with Peggy Schoolcraft. She was the
Oh,
one. I don't know if you've heard her name.
I
I
remember
wish I
her.
could. Oh,
Yeah,
really?
she was amazing.
Um,
Yeah.
she did my posing routine, my very first one and my second one, but she wanted, that's when you had everything on tape.
Mhm.
She's like, can I use your tape? And I never got it back. I
Hmm.
would give anything to have my tape of
Yeah.
me because I don't have a lot of pictures. People ask for pictures. I just have a few.
Okay.
Um, yeah, when I moved from Savannah, when I split up with my coach, or that didn't go well, and my pictures kind of disappeared. So
Oh,
I don't
really? Oh,
I don't
no.
have a lot of photos, but she has actual video footage, and I've really tried to. I've Googled. I've tried to find her. I don't
Oh,
even know how old she is right now. Is she still living?
yeah.
If she even would have it, but that would mean so much to me to see myself on stage.
Well, maybe she'll see this interview, so we'll have to see.
Maybe, yeah, she
Yeah.
was great, and I loved my routine. I did really like kind of sassy. I was sassy back then, so
Uh-huh.
my routines were, a little more upbeat and fun. And
Did you end up back in the day, did you end up doing the NPC Nationals show?
no, I
No.
after junior nationals, that was it. Yeah,
Yeah, very cool. I think I only have time for one more quick question. Now
I
do
can't
you
see myself. Am I like melting? It is so. I'm
No, you look
outside. I
great.
feel okay because I feel like there's just sweat pouring off my face.
Oh, I know it's so hot in Florida right now. We'd have
And I have the jacket on because you're probably wondering why it's so hot. I put muscle rub on because I was so sore, and then I cover up and let it soak in my muscles.
Oh, no, no, you're fine.
So that's why I've got the jacket over here sweating. It's
Oh,
good.
sorry about
Heat.
that.
It's heat therapy.
It is. It's been so hot in Florida too, and we haven't had
Yes.
much rain relief. Yeah. I thought we were going to get rain today.
Nope.
Um,
I know it looked like it, and then that just disappeared.
we don't have enough time for another question, I don't think.
I
So
know.
I'll just go ahead and wrap it up. But I really appreciate you taking the time to speak with me, and I'll try to get this posted up relatively soon, and I'll include your Instagram and your coaches and Instagrams too. But thank you so much. I really appreciate your
Well,
time.
thank you. It was nice talking with you. I enjoyed it.
Thank you. I enjoyed talking with you too, and really appreciate you, and looking forward to seeing you compete next year.
Yes, you will.
Thank you.
You will see it. Well, thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure.
Thank you, Kim. Take
All
care.
right. You have a great night.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.